Hey, I'm Robert Patrick, and today we're checking out a couple of war-proven weapons that you only wish you could get your hands on. First up, Michelle Viscusi dusts off a pair of M50 Rising submachine guns from World War II. Then after that, John Blaylock teaches us all about the legendary Vickers machine gun. So strap on your brain buckets, people. It's Gunny time. Hoorah! Boom! Oh! Hoorah! No mercy!
You guys are gonna like this.
Here we are with the M50 Rising that was used in World War II and also used by some police departments here in the United States. And here to tell me about it and help me out, our friend from Team Glock, Michelle Viscusi, or as I like to call her, the Desert Rose.
It's a great name.
Thank you.
So today we have the Reising M50, and it's chambered in 45 ACP.
All right. What's the magazine capacity?
Well, there's a 12 and 20 round magazine.
And this is?
That's a 20 round.
Good.
Yep, and this gun was invented by Eugene Reising. That's where you get the name.
The Rising.
Yep, and it was manufactured by H&R Arms. It was in service from 1941 to 1953.
So a World War II gun.
Yes, it is.
All right.
100,000 of these were contracted out to the Marine Corps.
There's only 100,000 of these that were manufactured?
Yes.
And we have one here right now?
Yes, we do.
Maybe two.
We do. We have two. We have the police model and we have the military model.
Was there a big difference between the two, or are they pretty much standard?
It's actually, for the police models, the stock's a little bit longer. There's actually 3 different variants of this gun, so this being one of them. The next one is the M55. It has a folding stock. Then there's the semi-automatic M60 rifle.
Wow. Well, this is cool. Did it see a lot of action?
Yeah, it did, definitely. But there were some downfalls with this rifle. The finish actually rusted fairly quickly.
They couldn't use it very well in the Asia Pacific.
Right, yeah, it rusted really quick.
Wow, that would not be good to have your gun jamming up there.
Their magazines also weren't reliable with the mud and the sand. And with these magazines, they're double fed into a single.
So if you got any dirt or debris in there, this would just be a bottleneck in here and it'd get a jam.
Right, that's exactly right. So those were the issues with these magazines. And another issue, so if you see here, we have a selective fire switch. You push it all the way forward, it's on full auto. And then the second one is semi-auto. The furthest out is safety. Well, I think I actually just showed you what the issue was. So when it's dark, the Marines couldn't tell what the actual selective fire switch was on.
Wow, yeah, that's that one's kind of really stiff.
It's sticky.
That'd be really dangerous.
Yeah, it is pretty dangerous. Another interesting thing about this gun is that the charging handle is actually underneath. So you can take your finger and you put it right here and you slide back. And it actually fires from a closed bolt.
What's the firing mechanism on there?
It's a blowback action and it's a closed bolt, so you can't actually lock the bolt back. The dangerous thing, another kind of bad thing about that is you don't want to get your fingers stuck under there, so when you're actually holding the gun, you need to make sure your fingers are clear and they don't get caught up in there.
Yeah. And we got iron sights.
Yep, we've got iron sights, and this gun is very accurate. It fires 700 rounds per minute.
Man, that'll rip something up.
Yeah. We also have a brake on this firearm.
What's that mean, a brake?
It diffuses the gases, and it actually helps keep the muzzle down when you're shooting full auto.
Oh, okay, so it helps you control the barrel.
Right, exactly.
Very cool. So I noticed these ridges right here.
Yeah, those are the fins. It actually cools the barrel.
So cooling fins.
Exactly.
Wow. Was this the preferred weapon of the Marine Corps?
I would actually have preferred the Thompson, but there just weren't enough.
Yeah. As the Gunny would always say, the Marines got the cast off.
And the Army got the good stuff.
You know, Michelle, this really seems like a simple weapon.
It is pretty simple, and you're gonna love shooting it.
I can't wait. Let's go.
All right.
We'll be right back with more Gunny time after this. to see what the Rising can do out at the range. All right, Desert Rose, here we are at the range. We've got the Rising, and even though you just grew in stature, I'm still gonna give you the shorter gun.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Let's see what they got here.
They got Blastamol. Check that out.
Blastamol.
You think you can hit them all the way over there?
Yeah, I just don't know if I'll be able to get them before you get them all.
I think you're gonna be great.
Let's load up.
You ready?
Yep.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Holy guacamole! Teamwork! Well, obviously, I took it down.
You killed it. I mean, I could have helped a little bit, but great job.
Thank you.
Holy moly. You see that thing out there?
God, that's the granddaddy of all the moles. Let's see if we can shoot that buck-toothed mole.
All right,
What do you say?
Let's make ready.
Make ready. That was some pretty damn good shooting today.
That was awesome. That's probably one of the best times I've had here.
I know it. Wasting that big mole.
Did a good job on this
Fantastic job. You got a new nickname, the Desert Road.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Michelle Vescuzzi, thanks for coming out on Gunny Time.
All right.
We gotta hit this rest stop real quick, but we'll be right back with the Vickers machine gun. And now it's time for the Glock Minute.
As professional shooters, we are often asked questions in regards to our training and how to become more proficient with the firearm. The answer starts at your very own home. In previous years, we've discussed dry fire. This is a wonderful building block to becoming more proficient with your firearm. The next answer is fundamentals. Spend time at the range addressing the fundamentals: grip, stance, sight alignment, and trigger control. Learn to understand these fundamentals and how they play a role in becoming proficient with your firearm. The fundamentals are incredibly important throughout your journey to becoming a better shooter. They will always be applied and must never be forgotten when trying to incorporate more advanced drills. Start your focus here, and the results will come.
All right, we're shifting into high gear for the second half. This here's the legendary Vickers machine gun. And here to tell me about it is my friend, John Blaylock. How are you?
Good, good.
Tell me about this weapon.
Well, first off, I will have to tell you, this is probably one of my favorite machine guns. This gun is just known for its reliability, durability, and its history. It was adopted into the British Army in 1912, and it served honorably all the way through 1968. Of course, you know, they had sold these guns to numerous countries all over the world, numerous calibers. That tells you something that many countries purchased this machine gun. The Argentines ordered about 24 of them. They actually put them on a motorcycle.
Wow.
We actually have one of those here, and we're gonna be able to shoot it.
Wow. It must be incredibly reliable.
Yes, it is. In World War I, there were 10 Vickers guns in action for literally over 12 hours, almost continuous fire. Only time they stopped was to do a barrel change, add some more water, and it's been told they fired over 1 million rounds in that 12-hour period with no breakages. So that tells you how legendary this gun is.
Just some reliability right there.
Yes. This gun is basically an improved Maxim. And what they did was they inverted the toggle locking mechanism. That's basically the action of this gun. This is the German Maxim lock, and they simplified it. They allow the empties to literally drop from the bottom out of the receiver, much like on the Browning, whereas the German, they had a tube that had to be pushed out the front of the receiver, and sometimes that would cause problems. And these locks were much more complicated. Vickers, smaller, simplified, and then if you look at the receiver, it allowed them to reduce the dimensions of the actual receiver literally by half. The Maxims were they were huge.
Yeah,
and they
so
were
it's
heavy.
a lot lighter and you can carry it around in battle a lot easier. How many people would it take to operate this?
To successfully operate it, and by the manual, 6 to 8 people.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
In a pinch, you could probably get away with 3. One for the tripod, one for the gun, ammunition carrier. But then you had, you know, typically several ammunition carriers, someone with the water.
So someone with the water. Now you're introducing a new element. Are you telling me this is a water-cooled
Correct.
barrel?
So that is also based off the Maxim. They basically were able to also make this a little bit smaller, and they have a corrugated jacket for strength. You've got a release cap here, and this is where they would pour in the water.
How much would it hold, about?
4 liters of water.
And what is this? Is some sort of muzzle booster? Or?
This is actually the muzzle booster, and as I'd mentioned, this is a recoil-operated gun.
Yes.
So the gases would come out and would hit the muzzle booster in here, and that would produce a backward force, and it forces the barrel back and operates the entire action.
On that compression alone right there. That's
Yep,
cool. Man.
Yep. And this here, actually a little bit later, this is a bullet deflector.
Is it really?
Yeah. On the earlier ones, it was just flat, But this here is hardened steel and actually is to help protect the gun in the front.
Now, what's the caliber on this here gun?
303 British. Each country typically would end up adopting their own caliber. You know, the Germans were 8mm Mauser. United States, we were pretty much 30-06, 30 cal. So, of course, they built it in the caliber of their choice. These guns normally in 303 British, they'd run about 500 rounds a minute.
What's the maximum range on this weapon?
Well, 303 British is about 4,500 yards. But, you know, the typical effective was 22, kind of what you could see, you know, in an actual engagement. But you got to remember, this is back in World War I, and they utilized what was called indirect fire. They'd fire up and over, down into trenches, you know, possibly 4 or 5, thousand yards away. And it was quite effective. You'd rain lead down on people and it'd kill them.
Sure.
And with that, I do have another little piece here. This was a British dial sight.
Wow.
And it almost looks like an artillery dial.
Absolutely.
And it's basically what it was. This was like, could be used for mini artillery. And they had a bracket here you can see on the side. This would attach, tighten up, and that'd be quite good mathematicians. And they would know how to work these. And they could get these out, like I said, about 4,500 yards out into the opposing trench.
So it's almost like mortar fire.
Basically, they treat, the 303 projectile as mini mortar rounds.
It's like the archers of the day.
Archers of lead.
Yeah, archers of lead. That's our band.
Yes.
We're gonna start a band together.
I like it.
The Archers of Lead. Well, that's very cool. John, thank you so much for telling me all about this. I can't wait to shoot it.
It will be a good time.
But I don't think either one of us should pick this up.
I will let the crew do that.
Let's let them do that. Let's go.
Don't go too far, because when we come back, we're not slowing down for you. You ready to get rowdy with the vicars? Well, it's about that time.
Well, John Blaylock, the Lord of Lead, we got the vicars all set up. Let's see what the art department... Oh no, John. It's the dreaded big sandy pterodactyl. They've been looking for years for this, and there it is.
Yes, they have.
You think the vicars can take it out?
I know it will.
All right, John. Let's lock and load.
Let's do it.
Hoorah! All right, let's let the vicars eat.
All right. That's one pissed off mama.
Let's hit him again.
All right.
That pterodactyl's gonna be pretty pissed off at us now.
Yes, sir.
It's time to terminate the pterodactyl.
Woo!
I'm feeling that all the way back here. That is one dead
Pterodactyl.
pterodactyl. Thank you. Yeah.
Woo!
John Blaylock, thanks for bringing out the Vickers. What a great gun to shoot.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, and I had a blast, literally.
Thanks again, John. There goes the Lord of Lead.
Pretty ripping episode, huh? I'd like to thank John and Michelle for bringing out the good stuff and showing us the way. And remember, keep your chrome clean, your tank full, and your TV tuned to Gunny time.